Your Majesty, King Mohammed VI, may God help and bless him. Your Excellency, and my dear brother President Masisi of Botswana. Your Excellency, Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, we're delighted that she was able to join us here by video. That gave us a lot of energy looking forward to the meeting in Washington. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here today for the U.S.-Africa Business Summit, thanks to the courtesy of Corporate Council on Africa and my dear sister, Flori Liza, President and CEO of the Corporate Council on Africa, a dear sister and a friend of Africa. I wish to congratulate His Majesty, King Mohammed VI, and the government of the Kingdom of Morocco for hosting this summit. Morocco is a great example of the power of vision, dynamism, and opportunities that exists in Africa. Morocco has the world's largest concentrated solar power plant, Nu Ouarzazate, which was financed by the African Development Bank. The OCP of Morocco is the largest producer of phosphates in the world. A walk to Morocco's Tangier-Med port, a world-class port surrounded by industrial manufacturing parks, churns out over 350,000 Peugeot cars annually to Europe and to the rest of Africa. In Nigeria, the Dangote urea plant is the largest urea plant in the world, while its oil refinery is the largest single-train refinery in the world, an investment of $20 billion. Africa is primed to be the alternative source of supply of natural gas to help secure energy supplies to Europe following the Russian war in Ukraine that has disrupted energy supplies. Mozambique, with the support of the African Development Bank and private investors, is now poised to become the third largest supplier of natural gas in the world from a $24 billion investment. So from Nigeria to Ghana, Tanzania, Senegal, Morocco, and Kenya, Africa has some of the largest reserves of natural gas in the world. The future of electric vehicles will depend on availability of lithium ion. Africa has some of the largest lithium deposits in the world, from Democratic Republic of Congo to Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mali, enough to make Africa competitive with China and Chile in the race for supplying global value chains for electric cars. Africa holds huge opportunities in agriculture, with 65% of the remaining uncultivated arable land left to feed the world being in Africa. So, what Africa does with agriculture will determine the future of food in the world. And the size of the food and agriculture market in Africa will reach a whopping $1 trillion by 2030. If these are not enough to convince you to invest in Africa, let me try further. Africa's continental free trade area will become the largest free trade zone in the world, with a market size of $3.3 trillion, covering 54 countries, with a population of 1.3 billion people. Renewable energy investment opportunities are immense, with 10 terawatts of solar, 350 gigawatts of hydropower, 150 gigawatts of wind, and 15 gigawatts of geothermal. The African Development Bank is mobilizing $20 billion for developing the desert to power in the Sahel, which will power the economies of 11 countries with solar and become the world's largest solar zone. From DRC, Morocco, Namibia, and Botswana, huge opportunities exist for green hydrogen, the fuel for the future. Africa, ladies and gentlemen, therefore offers a very profitable investment destination. Savvy investors know if you're not invested in Africa, you are really missing out on the world's leading investment opportunities frontier. And investors are paying attention, a lot of attention to Africa. The number of private equity funds in Africa grew from only 12 in 1997 to 150 by 2020. I am very positive about Africa's investment opportunities, and so should you. In 2020, a survey conducted by the African Private Equity and Venture Capital Association found that about 45% of limited partners expect returns in Africa to outperform those in emerging markets and developed markets over the next 10 years. 60% of limited partners indicated that they plan to increase allocations to Africa in the next 3 years. I really believe that this is the time for U.S. investors to rapidly move and invest massively in Africa. There's always a first mover advantage, and opportunities wait for no one. The U.S. foreign direct investment to Africa in 2020 was $47.5 billion. Now, while this is great and while this is significant, there is a lot of room for expansion, as the foreign direct investment from the United States to Africa represents only 5.2% of U.S.'s global foreign direct investment. President Biden's Build Back Better World is an excellent policy, and it can help a long way in tilting more U.S. private sector investments to Africa. It is time to refresh, re-engage, and reinvest in Africa. And as you do, let me just say it's important to base investment decisions in Africa on facts, not fiction or perceptions. Perception is not reality. Think of the following. In 2020, Moody's Analytics performed a 10-year cumulative assessment on global infrastructure debt default rates by region. It found that infrastructure loans perform worse in Eastern Europe, Latin America, and Oceania. Africa was the region with the second lowest cumulative default rate after the Middle East. Proof again that infrastructure as an asset class in Africa is solid, secure, and profitable. And that's why the African Development Bank invested over $44 billion in infrastructure in Africa in the last 6 years, from energy, transport, digital infrastructure, water, and sanitation. And we are the largest investor in infrastructure in Africa among all multilateral financial institutions. That is also why Africa 50, that I have the honor of chairing its board, it's investing in commercially viable infrastructure, which has demonstrated that pension funds and sovereign wealth funds can profitably invest in infrastructure in Africa. Africa 50 has established the Infrastructure Acceleration Fund, a private equity fund, to raise $500 million from institutional investors. This fund, which expects to reach a first closing this year, presents an excellent opportunity for U.S. institutional investors. I urge you to invest in it. The African Development Bank is already working very closely with several U.S. agencies to help promote greater investments by U.S. in Africa, including Prosper Africa, Power Africa, United States Development Finance Corporation, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, it's good to see you, Alice, upright, as well as the U.S. Trade Development Agency. I would like to thank the U.S. Corporate Council on Africa for its excellent platform and for the robust engagement of the U.S. private sector, building connections of U.S. private sector to Africa. The Africa Investment Forum, organized by the African Development Bank and its partners, European Investment Bank, the Afri-Exim Bank, Africa 50, the Trade and Development Bank, whose president also here, the Development Bank of South Africa, and the Africa Finance Corporation is showing the way for investors into Africa, curating deals and closing deals. In 3 years, the forum has helped to attract $110 billion of investment interest into Africa. Africa is ready. The U.S. is ready. Let us turn conversations into commitments. Let us turn commitments into investments. Let us build forward together, and thank you very much.